Welcome, everybody, to the Daily High with your host, Matt McGregor and Tone Vase. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning. I'm good. I'm good. The price is down, but because it's exactly what Mark and I predicted on yesterday's show, uh, makes me feel good. At least we're getting it right.
Yeah, yep. Well, I wasn't able to catch your show yesterday, and I apologize for those that saw it. I'm sure it was a fantastic show, but my internet sucked. If my internet starts to cut out again today, I'm going to have to stop talking and get onto it tomorrow. I did my best, but we'll see how we go. I'll launch into the charts right now because it's interesting to me looking at the weekly time frame as we are right now. This is this is what I've been saying as well. I mean, look how we almost came back to almost to the dollar. There's a 4 hour time frame. I want to start on the weekly. Excuse me. I had it preset. Check this out. Look where we've come back to retest tone from the breakout. This for me is a textbook retesting of the breakout point of this descending triangle, descending channel, whatever you want to call it. I absolutely love this retest, and some plenty of smart buyers bought exactly off that breakout point right now. And I'm not concerned whatsoever. I think this is a fantastic buy the dip. I think we've got tremendous upside coming through. We've got the bullish cross here on Alpha Metrics on the weekly. We've got the obviously the phantom signal came in last week. We are on the EXA here, like we're in the mid range of that EXA. There's nothing worrying about that. I mean, look how high it can go. It's absolutely on the right side of that EXA, but just for the most part, just like looking at broad strokes here, I absolutely love that we came back and retested the breakout point. So I'm not concerned at all on the weekly time frame. I think it looks fantastic. Nothing to note there. The daily time frame. The daily time frame, if this was to pull up right here where it is, like there's a bad MRI count, obviously. There's nothing except for that line for me to pull off. Like, so if this is the spot where it retraced, great, textbook to retest the breakout. But I wouldn't have, if I wasn't in a trade, probably been able to catch that because I would have definitely been looking for the 30 simple moving average down here at 64,500, like a retest of one of these moving averages here. But the fact that we didn't, if this is it, if this is just the retest of that breakout point, fantastic, so be it. I'm still in my trade from 60,500, not concerned at all. Yeah, I just this is not a confirmed by this is not it for me. This is not enough for me, but I'm very, very satisfied that the recovery that we've seen thus far in the last few hours. 4 hour time frame. This is this is it. We've had that great bounce off that same line. It's not across the board here, but can we break through some of these moving averages? It makes sense to me as well that we would come back up and retest the 7. We've got a ways to go before it's 100% locked and loaded bullish again. I really want to see a good MRI count here. I want to see this 7 break this 7 simple moving average, get this thing to curl over. And if we can curl over here, round off, and then break it, above 68, then bang, we're off. We're off as far as I'm concerned. But until we do, I'm still absolutely on the lookout for a great re-entry of the green wave here. And that would be the fantastic, absolutely fantastic buy the dip for me. And especially if it happened really, really fast, or if it just came banging, bang, we got a green diamond inside a green wave. Absolutely brilliant buy the dip. But where it is right now is fantastic if it recovers off this breakout point, but it's a bit concerning. It's not enough if it doesn't break through these moving averages right here. 15-minute time frame, just to have a quick overview of the shorter terms. Like Alpha Metrics is rounding off here beautifully. Let's have a look at what BangBox is doing. It's obviously in no trade right now, but let's have a look and see what we need to get a trade on here on BangBox. You see, we've been flirting with this. Obviously it's reset right now. We've closed obviously below the 128-day. We are flirting with coming up above it and breaking it and kicking on. Fantastic, but it has made a habit of coming down and getting stopped before it can actually do the breakout. It was looking really promising here to put a trade on, but it didn't put the trade on, and it's trended sideways ever since. We're still, putting in these lower highs here as far as I can see. Tone, before I come back to you, if you're interested in getting aboard this great revolution we have here at BangBox. It's a free trading bot. Great tutorial video here on the Financial Summit Network. Just look at trading bots by Blowfin. It's a full setup guide. It only takes 5 minutes to watch that, and you can set it up. And we've also got on Blowfin now a fantastic cashback promotion. Screenshot this, take it in, take advantage of that. It's an absolutely great opportunity. Tone, I'm coming back to you right now. It's a bit of a holding zone for me. It's a bit of a holding zone. I'm glad that we came back and retested there, but I really need to see it push through. Otherwise, I think it could have another test lower, and you get a great buy the dip lower if it doesn't push through right now. Tone, what are you seeing, mate?
All right, let's go and take a look. So, I was curious how the Bitcoin ETFs are doing. Even though Monday was a down day, it was still a net positive for ETF inflows. Yesterday, second consecutive down day, had very minor ETF outflows. I mean, these are all great signs. I see this as nothing more than a pullback, and all we got to try to do is time the re-entry as best we can. My downward trend line is a little steeper than Matt's. So on my trend line, we have not yet come back and back tested that trend line. As I move down, I am no longer in a leveraged position. I am back to only a 60% long. And I know I'm supposed to be 100% long based on Consensio, but I don't like the current environment. I may actually cut my long position to be a bit smaller than 60%. Let's see how the rest of this week goes. Today's already Wednesday. I think that people are going to be nervous going into this election. We're going to have Donald Trump on Joe Rogan. That's probably going to be watched by probably 50 million
Billion.
people at
Yeah,
least,
billion.
if not more, if not close to a billion people are going to end up watching this. And I'm really curious how that happens. I heard rumors that Kamala might do it,
Yeah, I
or
heard
they
that.
may not let her do interviews. Like I have no idea what's going on. As we discussed with Mark yesterday, and I mostly stressed this. The election is going to be 50-50. It's 50-50 on who's going to win. Yes, the betting markets have Trump an overwhelming favorite, like 65%, 70% likely to win. That's the betting market. The polls are showing Trump in the lead. The reality on the ground, however, as Joseph Stalin used to say, it doesn't matter how you vote, it only matters who counts the votes. And we've already seen this in action in the United States. So based on that, the election is going to be 50-50. And as we discussed yesterday in detail, my view is as follows. This is kind of what my outlook is. I still think Bitcoin will get into this box that I have of 64,500 to 66,000 or 66 and a half. We almost got into that box today, but we got there a little too early. And my view is as follows. If Kamala wins, Bitcoin price will crash. How far will it crash? I don't know, but I would expect Bitcoin to crash on Tuesday, Wednesday if Kamala is winning. I don't think we're gonna crash below the $52,000 area, but everything else is up for grabs. Hopefully, we don't crash below 59. And since the election is coming right around, that's November 1st, right around here. Here's November 4th. Okay, so that's the election. This is where I have the election day. And if Kamala wins, I will expect the opposite. I will expect something like this. But I still expect it to recover. Now, if Trump wins, I expect Bitcoin to just go straight up. I expect all the markets to just go straight up. But between today and between today and the election, I expect people to be very nervous and not take on any risky assets in any direction. So I'm looking for the stock market to cool off. I'm looking for gold to top. So I'm looking for everything to just slow down and for speculative traders, investors to go into as much cash as possible. So I'm not expecting much. I would be very surprised if we break these highs. I would be surprised if we get into the $70,000 range before the election. And I would also be surprised if we fall below 64,000 before the election. I'm just expecting a very boring market, and I'm not really interested in getting involved one way or another. It's just the way the charts have already started to play out. We had an MRI top on the daily. The weekly is in a bullish position, but we can have a few weeks of consolidation here, and then I am expecting a breakout. So I like where we are right now in the mid $60,000 range. Here is that box. I'm just gonna slide it over. There's no reason for it to be where it is. Just gonna slide it over a bit. This is on that 4-hour chart. I also mentioned that we have not had a 4-hour MRI buy signal. You have to go all the way back to like early September, September 16, mid-September. That's over a month on a 4-hour scale without an MRI buy. I think we're going to get that 4-hour MRI buy. We may actually get it tomorrow, which would be interesting. I would be eyeing that MRI buy. If that MRI buy comes in at 64,000, I think that is a buying opportunity, but I still don't think this buying opportunity is going to break 70. I think it's going to be short-lived. It's going to take us maybe back to 68 into these moving averages. And then if we do hit 64 and a half, and then the election is coming, and it looks like Trump may not win or is going to, get lucky to win, then we may still have another low, but we'll talk about that later. So while I am eyeing a potential buying opportunity at 64 and a half, I'm still not all that bullish. I mean, I've been bullish for a while. I've been saying how October is going to mark the lows and we're going to go up, and I've been fairly right on that. But right now is a time to kind of be very, very cautious. Thoughts on all this on Bitcoin, Matt, before I look at gold and stocks?
No, I think that's a very salient opinion you've got there, that we might be in a holding pattern for the next few weeks. That makes total sense to me. But it could also be completely erratic as well. So who the hell knows? But yeah, look, I really agree with all of that stuff, and that fits in really nicely with what I said. Question: are you going to live stream the election like you did last time? That'd be interesting.
Yeah, but I'm planning on it, but I am gonna be in Miami, and we're gonna be hanging out, partying, playing poker. So I will see, and maybe I'll stream during the day. Then we'll take a little break, and then we'll stream again at night. So I'm not sure how we're gonna do it. Maybe I'll just keep a rolling stream going while we play poker and having a party, and people can just like watch it live, and then we'll pass around some hot mics, and I'll do something fun. Maybe I'll do like just a 12-hour stream. Well, it depends on where we do it as well. Maybe we'll like rent a common area of a building or something. We'll see. But there will definitely be a stream where we're just gonna have fun.
Yeah, can't wait. I really enjoyed the last one. I'll never ever forget it, when Trump was up by an astounding amount, and then 15 minutes later it was
Yeah.
things changed. But life changes. We move forward. Can't wait to see that tone. All right, let's go to the traditional markets. What are we seeing here on the S&P?
All right, so gold is topping right as I speak. We are on an MRI warning. That means the MRI top is coming next weekly candle. This is also the ending of extension B. We also have just ended extension C, and we also already ended extension A. So everything is coming into a top here. This is going to be the second consecutive MRI top, and these extensions A, B, and C came from this MRI top. So those of you that have the educational video, you know that an MRI top kicks off extensions, because an MRI top may not top the market. If the market keeps going higher, it kicks off these extensions that have high potential to top the market, especially when you get the third one. I mean, you'll never get A before B, but C and B could come in either order because they have different math rules. When we get a second consecutive MRI top alongside of it, that's an even better indication of a top. I am very confident that the gold top is either already in or is coming within the next 7 days. What kind of a pullback am I anticipating? Not that much. I am still bullish here. We did get, you know, a little bit frothy here. So what are some of the best pullback areas? Well, once again, I'm going to draw a little box here. I think this MRI support line is the low end of a pullback, and the prior consolidation is the upper half. So something like this. So here's your pullback area. That is this new box right here. So that is the pullback area.
Bless you.
I have to sneeze. Here's your pullback area for gold, and we are going to get that MRI top next week, but the top could already be in, so keep that in mind. S&P is also on a pullback here. Here's my daily chart. MRI is loading. It tops on the MRI. Same thing with the S&P. Just like with gold, here is the lower end of the pullback range. It doesn't matter who wins, whether it's Kamala or whether it's Trump. For completely different reasons, I'm expecting the stock market to rise. Completely different reasons, okay? I'm not going to talk about these reasons because they get a little political, but maybe I'll mention them briefly. So if Trump wins, I expect Trump to do things like lower taxes, lower regulation, and do things that help the overall economy. So what Trump will do, or should do, or more likely to do, is help all types of businesses. Help the small businesses, the medium businesses, and the big publicly traded companies. Lowers taxes, tries to remove regulation, cuts the government budget, things like that, okay? That helps the whole economy. Now, the Democrats, or as I like to call them, the communists, like to do the complete opposite. But why would that also help the stock market? Well, because they are probably going to increase taxes, which is the opposite of Trump. They are going to increase regulation. They are going to increase government employees, and they're going to make the life of the average person a lot harder. But why would that help the stock market? And here is the kicker on this. Because all of their efforts to hurt the middle class grossly help the large publicly traded companies. So the destruction of mom and pop businesses absolutely help the publicly traded companies, like during COVID. When you destroy the owner of a local store, Walmart benefits, Costco benefits. The additional government employees create more government contractors that hand money to who? They don't hire mom and pop businesses as consultants and contractors. They hire the big publicly traded companies, the Jeff Bezos of the world. So if Kamala wins and the Democrats win, this helps the stock market perhaps even more than if Trump actually wins. And this is why the big publicly traded companies and most of the big billionaires support the Democrats and not somebody like Trump. So either way, I'm expecting the stock market to have some of the best 4 years ever in the next administration, between the money printing and handing the money to the publicly traded companies. Not to mention starting a few more wars, which also help the big publicly traded companies. Starting wars with Iran and China does not help the mom and pop stores, but it grossly helps the big publicly traded companies. So this is why I'm expecting huge rises in the stock market over the next 4 years, contrary to every gloom and doomer known to man. Matt, any thoughts on this?
No, mate, I agree. I agree completely, and I also think that that what you just said it before is perfect. That there'll be a period where of instability. The market likes stability, so depending on who wins, it doesn't matter as long as we know. And at the moment, people don't want to put their money in risky assets when they don't know the outcomes of things. So it'll help either way, initially anyway.
Yep. Okay, and that's about it. Here we can take a look at the 10 a.m. reversal and see what's going on here. We're at 10:09. Here's the 5-minute chart. Ooh, I like this candle right here. So yeah, this is a good 10 a.m. reversal candidate. This is a 10:05 candle. It is a bullish candle. We have 17 seconds to go. This is a perfect candidate for a buy the dip. And yep, and I would be into a long trade right now, if not a little bit earlier, like with maybe 1.5 minutes to go in this candle, I would have been in the long trade here, but I didn't see it at that time. So if we are in the long trade here on the 10 a.m. reversal, let me make it a green line. Where would
Beautiful
the
stop
stop
loss.
loss be?
What a beautiful stop loss. Wow.
Oh yeah, the stop loss is very clear unless it's unreasonably far away. I may not even have it that deep because if we are approaching that low, that means things are going horribly wrong with our trade. Let's take a look and see how deep that is. That's about 5.5. It's a little bigger than I would like. I like these stop losses to be closer to 3 points on the S&P than 5.5 points. We can make it 3.5 points. That is my nice zone. But also, as I said, I would have been in this trade a little bit earlier. I like to enter with about a minute, minute and a half to go in a 5-minute candle, and that would have happened at a higher price. And so it would have been a nice 3.5 point stop loss, but we are in a 3.5 point stop loss right now. Let's see. Once we go up 3.5 points, it will be time to set a break-even stop loss. We're close. We're close. Right there. And but I'll probably not do break even. I would just put it right below the candle's low. And is there anything else for us to discuss? Not really. The interest rates, I'm still completely dumbfounded by the fact that the expectation on the interest rate cutting is still 90%, 2 days after the election or 3 days after the election. I think the election is on the 5th, whatever that Tuesday is. Now, it's still insane how that's not a national holiday. But anyway, I would do things differently if I was the king of the United States. And
I mean
but
that adds fuel to the fire of once the election results are in, if they come in on time, and then you have the Fed rate cut as well. Boom, boom.
yeah, so my only explanation, well, my only explanation for why the Fed cut the rate the last time was all political, especially cutting it 50 basis points. And why would he cut it again? Completely political, right? So if the Democrats win, this rate cut kind of solidifies his job for the next 4 years because he's assisting the current administration. If the current administration loses and Trump comes in, then this rate cut is juicing up the market a little bit more. I don't understand why he would do that if Trump wins. I think Trump's gonna change the Fed chair anyway, but it makes no sense to me at all. Let's go back to that trade. Sometimes it's better to look away for a minute instead of staring at that chart. And we're pulling back. I really wanted us to get to that 3.5 so I can set the break-even stop loss. This candle is going to end in 1 minute and 30 seconds. If this candle ends white or green, if this candle ends bullish, I will be raising that stop loss halfway up to make my risk 2 points. 2 points is where I want my risk to be. 2 points on 2 futures contracts is $200. That is my risk. And if the next candle is green, no matter what, any green candle following the current green candle, I'm going to be in a break-even stop loss. I'm going to make sure I get out with, a cup of coffee to buy later, and we're good to go.
Leave that
If
here.
this candle, one more thing, if this candle ends higher than the current swing high of the candle, I will already be in a break-even stop loss going into the following candle. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we'll leave it here. We'll review it tomorrow night, eh? See what happened.
I doubt we'll remember by tomorrow night, but yeah, you know what? It's 40 seconds. 40 seconds to go in the candle. Let's finish out the candle. I'll reset the stop loss. We'll see how the first 60 seconds of the next candle goes, and go from there. At the moment, my stop loss is still right here at 2 points lower. I'm already not liking how this candle is ending. It's time for the pray and hope strategy for the next 10 minutes in order to get out of this trade with any form of a profit. Matt, go ahead.
Oh, do you know any jokes or anything to fill out that? Here we go. All right, good. Here you go. All my
All
jokes
right.
are Jewish jokes or women jokes, so I can't say anything on this channel.
All right. This candle is became a little more promising. I would now raise that stop loss to be just 1 point lower than my entry. Now I'm only risking $100 because if we do go this low, I will not be expecting us to keep going higher. At this point, I am disappointed at this reversal. Now, had I entered this trade properly, I would already be in a break-even stop loss, and this is why it's important to enter your trades at a proper time. I would have entered with 1.5 minutes to go in this reversal candle, but I entered with like 30 seconds to go in the reversal candle. So that was probably, my guess is it was a difference of like 5 points, 4 points, something like that. And yeah, so if the moment this candle gets to a new swing high or it gets to my target, I will be in a break-even stop loss. If this candle closes green in any way, if this candle is a bullish candle without hitting my stop loss first, I would be in a break-even stop loss. As of right now, I lost $100 on this trade, but this trade was not entered, was entered 1 minute too late. You gotta watch these things like a hawk and try to identify any reversal candles. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.